What is going on, everybody? Byrdman back with some Outriders content for you. Today I'm going to be talking about the Worldslayer expansion, everything they revealed today on April 21st, and kind of just going over the patch notes that they released alongside it, kind of explaining everything that was in this video. Know that there's DMCA stuff in this right now, so I'm not really going to play the sound for the video. Know that they kind of give a lot of juicy content in there, but I will at least kind of explain everything that is going to be coming in Worldslayer starting on June 30th of 2022. That's when it is going to be coming out, so get really stoked and excited. We're going to be playing through it, trying all these new stuff that's coming in the game. Your dev daddy is back, but do know you can follow me over on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at Byrdman778 and use code BYRD at GFuel checkout. Now, let's hop right on into this and start talking about this juicy info. First off, let's talk about the new campaign, the new enemies, and the new environments that will be added into Outriders during Worldslayer. Outriders Worldslayer introduces a brand new standalone story campaign that you can jump into even if you haven't played the original story. The new campaign will focus on the Outrider facing against Estragol. It's literally Esreshki-Gol, something like that. A commander of a new human faction called the Insurgents against a backdrop of Enoch's climate undergoing cataclysmic changes. So there's a lot of kind of cataclysmic weather changes going on in the world right now. A lot of stuff going on there. Throughout the Worldslayer, you will, of course, be traveling new locations. You can see the footage of the glacier's edge and drift water environments in press coverage of this week, both the environments from relatively early on in the campaign. The Worldslayer will introduce a new enemy variant as well as entirely new adversaries and bosses. You may have spotted some of them in the spotlight already, but we do plan on showcasing more of them in the future in social channels. So a lot of new enemies are going to be coming in here soon, a whole lot of new faces for you to kind of focus on. People kind of like your Seths and stuff like that. So a lot of cool stuff going on. But new gear, the important things, we got to talk about that. Outriders Worldslayer will of course introduce a new host of new gear, both in terms of weapon and armor. Each class will be getting a dedicated new 5-piece legendary armor set, kind of like we have for let's say Devastator with the Deathproof set or the Seismic Commander set. And then Worldslayer also does introduce a new 3-piece armor set that's universally available to all classes and will have their own set bonuses as well. Note, some of the previous legendary armor sets and mods will also be reworked as part of Worldslayer's launch. We'll talk more about these shortly after launch. So a lot more info to come. We're going to be having things that are being completely shifted around to then kind of focus on the new idea behind this game. Each new legendary armor piece does introduce a Worldslayer. All comes with a new mod, so a lot of new mods coming in here. We'll be planning to show off some of the gear and special gear you contain in Worldslayer on our social channels between now and launch. Make sure to follow if you haven't already. So yeah, make sure you're following Worldslayer, Outriders content and stuff like that. A lot of stuff that they're going to be revealing here soon, kind of like the new PAX class trees. We're going to be getting new class trees, everybody. This is absolutely insane. Outriders Worldslayer introduces a new class tree, the PAX tree. The PAX tree is a separate class tree from the existing 3 branches you're familiar with. It requires its own PAX points to activate nodes within it. PAX points are acquired at certain points of Worldslayer and based on general progress rather than specific level grind. So you have to play through the story to get into those specific pieces of the gear. The PAX trees itself is comprised of 2 branches of each class, though similar in the main skill tree, they are interlinked. So these will be 2 separate, just offset trees for you to kind of move through and work with. Each node in the PAX tree is equivalent to major nodes in the original class tree, so each choice you make in the PAX tree will have impactful performance on your Outrider. So it's not just going to be a boost to anomaly power or something like that. It's going to have an actual change for you. Just like the main tree, the PAX tree is freely respect. We love that. The idea behind the PAX tree is allow players to either specialize further into a specific direction and better enable hybrid builds. So a lot of just cool stuff here. So first off, the names of everything. Pyromancer will be the Gun Blazer and the Pyromantic. Techomancer will be the Desolator and the Overseer. Devastator will be the Wrecker and the Tectonic Shifter. And Trickster will be the Spectre and the Exploiter. So you know me. You know me, the dev daddy. I really like hearing the Wrecker and the Tectonic Shifter. It sounds like it's going to be kind of a physical melee class, and then I would say probably another anomaly focused class as well. So very cool stuff, very cool. The new Ascension system. Outriders Worldslayer introduces a new long-term progression system called Ascension, the Idea Ascension expansion is to give continued play on ongoing next level to work towards alongside regular play. Continued Ascension by itself does not unlock or gate better gear or content. It is purely designed to make you stronger. So again, if you're playing like Wonderlands right now, it's very similar to the Myth Ring. It's something that just kind of like boosts up specific stats rather than overpowering you in any certain way. So we really like that. We like something that's going to be able to help out, make it just a little bit better than you were before. The Ascension system is currently balanced so that it would take you hundreds of hours to fully complete. Leveling up Ascension is done by collecting XP from killing enemies. It's only available from a character level 30 onwards in the Worldslayer installed. XP earned after level 30 will go towards Ascension levels, which in return provide you Ascension points. You will be able to invest your Ascension points into any of the 4 Ascension categories: brutality, endurance, prowess, and anomaly. So we'd like to see those kind of like juicer heads up right there. We really like that. Each of the categories has 5 options for you to invest in. For example, you can invest your points to reduce your cooldowns, increase your life resistances, so on and so forth. Each option in each category can have 10 Ascension points invested into it. You can reach level 200 Ascension Worldslayer. We're told 200 Ascension points. At 200 Ascension points, you will be able to completely fill out that tree in that category. You can mix and match invest your points on respect Ascension points all you want. Like the newly introduced Pack Tree Ascension is intended to allow players to either supercharge a specific build or better create a hybrid build that works across different playstyles. So again, just some really, really awesome changes there. Just introducing something that is able to just make you a little bit more powerful is something I am very much for. But let's talk about the Apocalypse system in the 3rd mod slot. As a reminder, the tier systems in the Outriders allows the player to fine-tune the difficulty of the game of their own needs. Higher tiers mean higher difficulty, but also improved rewards in the ability at higher level. Outrider Worldslayer introduced a new Apocalypse system that heavily impacts the max gear, equipment level, and difficulty tiers in the most difficulty boost system. Challenge tiers have been changed to Apocalypse tiers, so instead of seeing like CT15, it'll be Apocalypse 15, but it'll go higher and higher and higher. This change will affect the versions of Outriders and do not have Worldslayer installed. Apocalypse tiers will determine not just the difficulty reward scaling of expeditions, but also the Worldslayer content. Apocalypse tiers will go up to a tier 40, so a lot of new tiers to work on there. We really like that. The max Apocalypse tiers can unlock by completing expeditions content in the base game. With Worldslayer installed, you'll be able to play expeditions to continue unlocking higher tiers. And at Apocalypse tier 15, your max gear equipment level will be at level 50 as it currently is. At Apocalypse tier 40, your max will be level 75, which is the gear level cap. So we like to see that there is like a level cap increase, but also at the same time, they're working on kind of making sure it's not going too high. When above a certain Apocalypse tier, there will be a chance Apocalypse gear to drop. Apocalypse gear pieces have specific variants of epic and legendary gear pieces on them. Apocalypse have a 3rd mod slot, so essentially you can get the same exact thing, but it will have an extra piece on it. So again, this is for those mid-maxers out there looking to produce the most damage humanly possible. We really like to see that. New endgame. While Apocalypse tiers do across expeditions content, Outriders Worldslayer will actually be introducing its own dedicated endgame. In endgame, the Worldslayer has actually been specifically designed around. The campaign Worldslayer will take you to the ancient city of TARYA, GRATAR, I actually said it better that time. The cradle of the Pack's civilization, where the trial of TARYA GRATAR awaits. So this kind of like sounds like it's going to be kind of like a raid level end game piece of content, which we've been absolutely begging for. So we really like to see that. And finally, we got to talk about the closed beta. With Outriders Worldslayer launching in just a few short months, we will be running 2 small-scale closed and private betas. As they're closed, we won't be talking about them too much publicly, but we ask that any participants lucky enough to participate ensure that they do not discuss their experiences. Essentially, they just want to try to get feedback and just figure everything out. Beta 1 will start on April 29th and be letting 2,500 players in, and Beta 2 is planned for later in May or June, and it looks like it'll be an invite in as well. So a lot of stuff there. Homies, that's pretty much everything I've got right now. Thank you so much for stopping by this video, guys. I'm so excited for more Outriders content coming up here soon. You guys know me. Outriders essentially helped boost my channel. They got me into YouTube partner and everything I am now. So it made me into the dev daddy that I am today. So we really like it. We're really excited for all this new content coming out here soon. So make sure you're following over here on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at Byrdman778 and using code BYRD at GFuel checkout. We're going to be having so much Outriders coming up here soon. I'm so excited. Until then, I'm going to be covering some Wonderlands content, but as soon as Outriders comes out, that's going to be our main focus. So be a part of the channel, be one of those first people here vibing out, hanging out, and have a good time. But regardless, thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your night, day, or whatever it may be.